my last get right back off here, but I'm just apologizing for bad audio. My last live stream, which was full of echo, be a guinea pig for audio. You can hear me right now. And, let me know. Hey, do I have any echo? Do I have any audio? You can hear me right now. Let me know. Do I have any echo? Do I have any audio problems? I will wait patiently for your response. I will wait patiently for your response. I'll give you some more what you like. I'll get rid of what you don't like. Oh, come on! You want to see? Oh, dude. Echo still? Oh, come on! Oh, dude.
How about now?
I'm thinking. What can I do to fix it?
Okay, I clicked something else. Did that do it? Did it go away? I'm waiting. Oh man. Everything's broken. It's all broken. So I think so, Aiden, does that mean it good? Yes. Okay. I'll try not to upset it. I'm gonna talk really nice. I love you, computer. Be nice to me. I probably shouldn't rub the microphone. That'll probably make a lot of noise. Oh, I want to do my usual fix for these electronic devices and get my hammer out, but I don't think it would like that very much. Okay. I'm 7 minutes into just complaining about my audio. So, anybody that watches this later, anybody tuned in now, Aiden, Julie, I was just apologizing for my previous live video. Julie was here. Aiden, I guess you weren't able to join us for that one, but yeah, I royally messed that one up because of the audio issues. It was my first time, and I couldn't figure it out. So, you did the walk of shame. Yeah. That used to embarrass me. Now I realize that no one really cares as much as you think they do. So it's all on you. If that's an issue that you have, Aiden, or if anybody else watching has that problem, or maybe you don't know if you're a little too big for a ride or if you are too big for a ride, the walk of shame, it's only shameful if you make it. Nobody watching you get on the ride really cares, and they're not going to ever see you again. So, give it a try. Worst that can happen is you just walk away, and yeah, that's really all that happens. You just, try again next time. Eat one less cheeseburger, and maybe squeeze on it the next time you come through. So, yeah, it doesn't bother me anymore because I've accepted. I know I'm a fat guy, so quit saying so much. I know I'm a fat guy. I know there's some things I'm not gonna be able to fit on. And I don't let it get to me. I know, like I said, that people don't care nearly as much. It doesn't bother people as much as it bothers yourself. Or bothers myself, or used to anyway. So, know that they don't really care. It's all in your head. If you're watching this, somebody, don't let it stop you from trying to have a good time. You'll be surprised at what you can fit on, what you can, if you just give it a try. And, once that click does happen, you're like, oh, wow. So, surprise, you'll be all that more pumped and excited and happy that it actually happened for you, as opposed to doing the walk of shame. And yeah, just don't let it get to you. I know it's hard. It's easier said than done, but living proof you don't. I don't really care anymore. I've gotten to that point in my life where, yeah, I know that it's all in my head. It's just me, so I just go. Don't let it keep me from having a good time. Alright, I went to King's Island 7 times last year. I got you beat. I think I went 11 last year. Which is I went more times last year than I had in my entire life up to that point. Because last year was my first time getting a season pass, and I'd just gone maybe occasionally every couple of years for like from the ages 10 to 30 or so, and then I didn't go for several years. So, but now I'm going to be a pass holder for life now. I love it, and I can't wait to go. I wish I could have gone more this year so far, but it is what it is. So we'll be getting back here in a couple weeks, and hoping to have a good time then. And definitely going to be showing up a bunch of times for Halloween Haunt because I love that so much. When I went last year, it was so much fun. And Kings Island promised some special events coming soon, so I'm hoping I can get to go to whatever those are. And Winterfest was awesome. I love that. It's my first time visiting that last year, and that was a lot of fun. Dave Coaster Dude, it's been 3 years since I first visited. Hey, Dave, you get a lot of comments from you on my videos. I appreciate you joining the live chat. I think you're in the Cedar Point area, right? Up there near Cedar Point. Yeah, I wanted to get up there to Cedar Point earlier this year, but for the opening of what was it? I forget the full name of it. Some kind of River Rapids ride they had opening up for their 150th anniversary, but that's been pushed to next year. So my trip to Cedar Point's been pushed to next year too, but I will get up there next year and give everything a try. Hi, Tyler. Oh, you back? Yeah, I think I fixed the audio, Tyler. Thank you for tuning in before. So I think we've just started over here. So yeah, Cedar Point's the best, Ethan. Yeah. I hear it's awesome, especially if you're a coaster fan. So I do hope to get up there in the very near future. Hopefully next spring when they open up for the season, I want to be there on opening day for that. As long as it doesn't coincide with the Kings Island opening, I'll be up there for that because that's on my short to-do list of upcoming events. So let's see. Yeah, people are joining back in now. And if you were here with me before, I was saying I had an audio issue in my previous live stream, so I've fixed it according to my new buddy Aiden here and Julie, who was with me for the debacle that was the last live stream. So I think we got that fixed, and I apologize to anyone who watched that. I'll probably just delete it, and we'll just move on, and we'll call this the live stream, okay? We're chalking up the growing pains. This is my first one. Yeah. I'm a little technologically stupid, apparently, but I figured it out. So, my point of that video was to thank anyone on here that's commented or on any of my videos, shown up, watched anything, got me to the 1,000 subscriber mark, which I hit a week ago today, and I am so humbled by the fact that any one of you, or anyone at all, has been interested in watching, that there's 1,000 people out there that have any interest in what I have to do and say. So I really appreciate anyone that's commented, liked, watched the video, even disliked, shared with a friend, that kind of stuff. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. So we'll just start over here. We'll call this one the live stream, and we'll ignore that last garbage fire that happened. I'm a little more loose right now anyway. My monster drink is kicked in, so. Okay. Dave Coaster Dude. Couldn't fit on Millennium Force safety belt on actual ride, but can fit into the test seat. Yeah, I had an issue with that with Delirium at Kings Island. I got into the test seat. It fit. I felt like I had a little bit of extra room even. Then I got on the ride. I was locked in, clicked on, ready to go. And apparently they come to my seat. And they were like signaling. And even though I had the sucker clicked down a couple times, I'm belted in. They say apparently I wasn't on the ride, which I'm in the seat. I'm on the ride, but they had to talking about walk of shame. They had to unlock the entire ride just to get my fat butt off of there. So yeah, live and learn. And yeah, I guess you need so many clicks. I only had 2. I guess I needed like 3 or 4 or something. So I was just that much. Maverick is best, just so you know. Ethan, is that Cedar Point Maverick? I think a lot of good coasters up there apparently, so I'm hoping to give them all a try. By the time I go next year, hoping to get the diet back going on. I was down to 321 of October last year when I from when I started out last February at like 415 pounds. I'd lost a lot of weight just because I wanted to take my family on vacation. And but I put a little bit back on, and during the COVID-19 situation, I've put on the COVID-20. So I've kind of went the other way a little bit, but I'm going to get back in there, and hopefully by the spring rolls around, I'll be able to get myself onto everything at Cedar Point. I'm really hoping to do that. Haven't been Kings Island since '01. See, that was, I hadn't been that long since in between trips to Kings Island, Julie, but I think I went in 2007, and then I didn't go again until last year. So I had about a 12-year gap in between, and a lot had changed. They added several new rides and got rid of a couple others, and yeah, a lot can change in 12 years away from the park. And you said you haven't been since '01. There's a lot changed since '01. You should come by and give it a try. It's I think previous chat you say you're in North Carolina. Yeah, I'll come down to Carowinds. You come up to Kings Island. Tyler, yes, I have been to Soak City. Love Soak City. I got a video, if you want to check it out, of where I tour around the area, and I've tested a couple of the rides on there. My favorite, of course, being a big dude, can't go wrong with the lazy river. So I like that, and the big, I don't know what it's called, but the big family tube ride, I like those. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. If I hadn't been on here trying to think on the spot of the names of these rides, I could just whip them off like that if I was just in normal conversation where I wasn't, on the hot seat where y'all asking me questions. I'm trying to think of stuff. But yeah, I've been to Soak City. It's a lot of fun. But if you're looking for a water park to go to, hate to say anything bad about Kings Island, but the Kentucky Kingdom one over in Louisville has that one beat. If you're in that area, want to take a little ride over that way. Hurricane Bay is really nice. And if you're going a little bit farther, the best water park I have ever been to is Splash and Safari over at Holiday World in Santa Claus, Indiana. It is an amazing water park, and they have like 3 or 4 different water coasters, and they just opened a dueling water coaster called Cheetah Chase this year, which I hope to go to the Hollywood Nights event back in May, but that got canceled, so I'm going to wait till next year to ride that thing. But yeah, Splash and Safari and Hurricane Bay, both really good water parks. Yeah. I'm going to Kings Island in the middle of August. I'll be there on the 16th of August is my next planned trip out to Kings Island. I never got to ride Son of Beast. I was there the year they opened it up, and I had gone with my, I don't know, what year was that? Like 96, 97? I don't know. I'm fuzzy on the year it opened. But I was there the year it opened, and we had gone with a school group, but it kept shutting down. Like it would be run for an hour, then it would be down for an hour. Run for an hour, then down for an hour, and I never got a chance to get on it. And I never got back to the park before they tore it down and shut it down. So I never got a chance to ride Son of Beast. What I'm hearing is I didn't miss a whole lot. I know it was a big coaster, but people don't really speak highly of it because they said it was rough and boring. But personally, I like my roller coasters a little on the rough side. That's the complaint I hear about with how the Vortex was and T3 over at Kentucky Kingdom. People say they're too rough, call them a hang and bang, and but I like them a little rough because it makes me feel like I've experienced something. The roller coaster's too smooth. It's I don't know. There's some fun in that, but I like to be jostled a little. All right. Drop Tower. Yeah. I've only been on the Drop Tower once at Kings Island. My brother, when he went with me last summer, I knew I was too big to get on it, but he tried. He's 6 foot, was 285, and he had the same situation I had with the Delirium, is that it got down clicked a couple times, but they said it wasn't clicked far enough, and they had to stop the entire ride just to get him off because he was just a little too big for it. Hi, Jaden. Thanks for joining me. happen to know when Iron Gwazi is opening? I don't. I've loved to go down there and try that. My brother that I just spoke of, he's getting married in, I think, May or June of next year, and he's going to be doing so in the Tampa area. So I'm going to hope to get over to Busch Gardens, Tampa, and give that a run. I don't know when it's going to be opening. I heard it was about ready to go before the COVID-19 situation hit, but that's been delayed a little bit. The most recent thing that I've heard is possibly sometime around March or April of 2021, but that's not set in stone, and things change, so I wasn't putting stock into that out. But I'll keep my ear. I got a lot of people I get information from, and I got a lot of sites that send me news updates on it, so I'll keep track of that. Yeah, exact opening date I don't know. Yeah, Tyler, 15th of August. Yeah, got your message. Sorry, I'm gonna miss you. Like I said though, I'll be there several times this fall and winter for Halloween Haunt and Winterfest if they have those events, and of course next summer when everything is hopefully. Oh my God, I cannot imagine this going into next year. But when things are back to normal, I'm I'm gonna live at Kings Island next year just to make up for lost time this year. Have I ridden the stunt coaster? Yes, I have ridden the stunt coaster. I had some trouble with it earlier last year when I was a little bigger, but I did eventually lose enough weight by the fall. I was able to get on it. I was right about 325 pounds, and I was able to fit onto it, but just barely. I was squished in there. But yes, I did ride it. It's a quick ride, but it's a fun little ride. I was surprised, actually, at how fun it was. And I love the whole helicopter fireball scene. And you can't go wrong with a good fireball. Anything fire related, I'm all for. So, yeah, I was a fan. I was surprised at how much I liked it. I remember that spot has changed so many things over the years. I rode it when they had Days of Thunder, that simulator ride in there. Then I went when they had the SpongeBob 4D interactive show, and those are all fun too. Been to Carowinds once. Yeah, I hear Carowinds is a little bit of a smaller park than some of the other Cedar Fair parks, but I still want to try it. It's close, and I love North Carolina. I think I was mentioning in the last live stream that I was born there, and I love visiting Outer Banks. So sometime when we head down there for vacation, I'll make it a point to stop and visit Carowinds. Yeah. Speaking of my birthday's next week. But just, no mean to drop that in there, but yeah, I don't really care. I don't really. I'm too old to care about my birthday anymore. Any updates? Yeah. Yeah, I heard I hear a lot of coaster enthusiasts say Steel Vengeance is one of the best rides they've ever been on. I know that RMC is doing a lot of good stuff in the coaster community now, and the Steel Vengeance and Iron Gwazi, and they got one at Kentucky Kingdom called Storm Chaser that's supposedly really good that I haven't quite had a chance to ride yet. And yeah, I can't fit on that one right now, so I can't try I couldn't fit on Iron Gwazi right now, but maybe in a few months when I get things get back to normal. I hope to get down there when that opens, and I'd love to go ride an Iron Gwazi. It looks like it'd be so much fun. I've seen some of the specs and some of the POVs on it, and it looks like a lot of fun. Oh yeah, yeah, the Walk of Shame thing. You don't feel sad for me. It doesn't bother me anymore. Um, I don't think I've ever been 120 pounds in my entire life. Uh, yeah, I know that it's all. Anytime I go on a ride like that, the Walk of Shame thing, it's not embarrassing for me anymore. It used to be, but then I realized no one cares as much as about your physical appearance as much as you do about yourself. It's all in your head. It's all in my head, or it was until I realized that nobody really cares except for me. So they don't care. I don't care. I let it go, and I don't let it keep me from having a good time. So I will try it anyway, And I'm gonna keep working at my my physique here, and hopefully I'll get to where that's not an issue anymore. But thank you for the concern. I really appreciate it, and but yeah, it doesn't really bother me at this point anymore. And I'm 5'5". Yeah, I'm 5'9", 5'10". Just depends on I guess what shoes I'm wearing. But 5'9" without shoes, so I'm not tall. I'm above average, but yeah, I don't really have any trouble with the height of anything. I know some taller people do, but I don't have any trouble with that much. Just my weight and my gut. I did ride King Cobra, Tyler. I rode it one time. I think I was like 14 years old. It was back in mid to late 90s. It was like the year before they took it out. I did get to ride it one time, and I was a little bit disappointed because it was just the one loop. It was kind of a short ride, but it was unique and ahead of its time for being that stand up looping coaster. I do remember enjoying it, but I remember it kind of being a little painful and a little short and being a little underwhelmed by it. Oh, thank you for the early birthday, Jade. I wasn't fishing. I was just I mentioned where I was born in North Carolina, so I said that anyway. Said that, but yeah, I appreciate it, but I'm too old to care about my birthday anymore. It's just another day to me. That may sound sad, but I appreciate the birthday wishes, but yeah, I live every day like it's my birthday. Still more Planet Coaster videos. You like those? I didn't get a whole lot of response from those. I play Planet Coaster a little bit when I'm at home and bored, but I haven't posted many of the videos because I wasn't getting a lot of response from them. But if I get more people like you, tell me you like them, I'll play around with it some more and post something else on there. Um, it's been a little while since I played with it, so I'll have to get that back out and give it a try. Excuse me. Been yapping a lot. My throat's dry. Anybody got any other questions for me or any topics you'd like to discuss? Doesn't have to be about theme parks or coasters. It could be anything, just life in general, or what's going on with you. You know, anything nerdy, dorky culture, that kind of stuff. I love. I'm a big nerd. If you can't see the shelf behind me, all my toys I got stuff everywhere. Just all kinds of toys and things. I'm a big kid. Yeah, I don't need to grow up. It's growing up is people that have no joy in their life. I'm gonna play with toys till I die. Orion looks huge, Aiden. It's a monster. Look at, I don't know if you are at the park and seen it, but I saw all the pictures and videos and stuff they had posted online of it, and wow, that looks like a big coaster. Then I got up next to it, I'm like, wow, that's a big coaster. You don't really appreciate the scale and the size of this thing actually is, or what a magnificent piece of engineering it was to put it together until you're right up next to it. I mean, the parts are just massive and huge, and it's just goes up into the clouds. It's especially to me, what's the word? Impressive. That shouldn't have been a hard word to think of. That they put it together so quickly. I know they were putting like groundwork and stationing, clearing ground, stuff like that from the back in 2018. They started doing that after they tore down Firehawk, but they didn't announce Orion or start putting any track in until August of last year, and they had that thing up and running and doing test runs by March, and being as big as it was, wow, that it's an amazing piece of engineering, and the theming is surprisingly very entertaining. I love a good themed ride, good themed coaster. That's why I like at like Disney and Universal, they have the theming and the lines and stuff, and the story they tell before you get to the ride is almost as entertaining as the rides themselves. And they've done that with Orion. They've really given you a backstory on it. They've got the area decorated. They've incorporated the other rides in the area to draw you in, and I really think it was an impressive piece of work they've done to put that together. More out and back kind of layout, Diamondback or Orion? You know what? I couldn't pick one over the other on as far as an out and back layout. Diamondback goes straight out into the woods. It does like its little, it has its two like clover leaf areas it goes into, then comes right back around as a little twist at the end down into its splash zone. And Orion about does the same thing. It goes out, goes over a couple of hills, comes around, does a big turn, and comes right back, then goes over a little spin, then comes around to the end. So they're both quite a bit of like an out and back style of a ride. But I'd say if I had to pick one or the other, I'd say Orion is more out and back because it doesn't derive as much from its straight out and back path as Diamondback does. Diamondback has a little bit more of a like a kind of a cloverleaf type of element, for lack of a better term, there at the apex, the pinnacle of its distance, or as farthest away from the ride station. So it does a little more business out there before it comes back than Orion does. So I'd have to say Orion is the more of an out and back, but they're both. It's like splitting hairs. Yeah, I like a good coaster that can use its terrain to its advantage. I don't think enough parks and enough areas, enough coasters use that kind of thing. From what I hear, I haven't had a chance to ride it yet, but Lightning Rod at Dollywood is a good terrain coaster that really makes excellent use of just it. Like goes up into a hill, like on the hill, uses the hills for its hills, just to give it that good layout, and that makes for pretty interesting elements. And the closer you get to like a natural obstacle as opposed to there's just these created hills, the more intense I think it feels. It's like you're actually maybe near miss elements, stuff like that. I think that's more entertaining. Like with best instance I could think of at Kings Island is probably the Bat or Adventure Express, where they go out into the woods and they swing back into the wooded areas and kind of along the hillside and stuff. So yeah, I think it's pretty interesting, pretty fun. Yeah, Vortex before it was torn down. Yeah, did I ride the Halloween Hunt? I don't think I did. I think I was focused on getting through all the scare zones and mazes, but I did get to ride it in October. When it was announced it was going to be torn down, I went like 2 days later and made sure I got my last rides in. I was not going to miss seeing my favorite ride before it got torn down. So I have a video of that, kind of a comical one I put together of me singing the Sarah McLachlan song "I Will Remember You." I like slow motion, black and white. I'm like kissing the coaster goodbye and stuff. I had fun making that. I thought it was pretty funny. Yeah, I'm really gonna miss Vortex. It was my favorite, and I was mentioning in my last live stream that it was mine, my wife's, and my children's first inverted roller coaster. So it kind of has a nostalgic thing for us that it was, I rode it like at 10, 11 years old. My first inverted. My wife, she was like 11 or 12, hers, and we lived in completely different states. So that being ours, and we both came and rode that at different times, being our first inverted coaster was something interesting. And last year when I took my kids, my son hit his 48-inch mark for the very first time before going on Vortex that same day, and he was 5 years old. I couldn't imagine being 5 years old and getting on an inverted coaster, Vortex at that, and he loved it. My daughter, she was 7. They were terrified going. Well, he wasn't. She was terrified getting onto it. As soon as we got off, I want to go again. So again, like I said, it's all of our favorite first inverted favorite roller coasters. So we were sad to see it go. It's so fun. Yeah, I can't wait to ride Orion. It looks like a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to getting on it too. I didn't get to ride the Tomb Raider ride. No, that they had that in a time frame where I had not visited the park. So I like that they've made use of that space, that crypt area. They've turned it into I think Madame Fatale's, and they got like a haunted maze going through their Halloween hunt. So they still have made good use of that space. They've kept a lot of the theming and the decoration from when it was Tomb Raider. So that's kind of neat. And some people are scared of those rides, Jaden, but I, don't let that keep you off of them. They are safe, even though they're made to terrify you. They're made to scare you. But you do it anyway because they're a blast. I promise you, you will enjoy yourself. They wouldn't allow those things to be built if they weren't safe, even though they look like they want to throw you into the woods. But yeah, I recommend doing it. Don't let fear, keep you from doing that kind of stuff. 'Cause like I said, my 5-year-old got him on Vortex last year, and he had an amazing time. So don't let that stop you. I hope you're able to get on it and get through your fear and have a good time riding that ride. All right, Jen, the King's on this Saturday for the first time from Cleveland. Now, Jen, as far as the COVID thing, I covered it a little bit in my opening day video, but they are going to require you to wear a mask, which I know that nobody likes wearing the masks, but I understand why they're in place. And it's not as bad as you think when you're on a ride having to have that on, because the cool air blowing on you as you're riding, it helps, but it's just the walking around breathing into it. So if it's very humid, it's going to be very hot. Just be prepared for that, and make sure anytime you see a place that you can stop and get a drink, make sure you do so, because yeah, they when I went, they had a lot of the Coca-Cola stations, drink stations down, and so the drinking was few and far between. It was very hot, and the lines were long where they're at. So anytime you see a spot to get a glass of water or a drink, stop and do so. Keep yourself hydrated and be that much better. They will check your temperature as you go in. If your temperature is above 100.4, they won't let you in. So be aware of that. So make sure you're not running a fever before you go. There are stickers all over the ground everywhere to remind you to keep a 6-foot social distance. But a lot of people follow that, but there are some that either can't read or just choose not to, and will get a little bit closer than you'll like them to. But I don't know. I just usually give them one of them the stairs, and they usually will back off a little bit. But yeah, Kings Island's doing everything they can, with the well, I don't know what I'm saying. The only thing they could do different would be to have people like all over the park just being hall monitors, tell them just you need to get 6 feet apart all the time, and nobody wants that. So Kings Island is doing everything they can, but it all comes down to individuals in the park. If they can keep the distance, that's what's gonna determine whether they keep away from you or not. But yeah, it's pretty spaced out unless you're in line, though. People are pretty far apart, and from what I hear, since opening day, the crowds are down quite a bit, so you're not really going to have as much of an issue as I think that I did when you're walking around going from place to place, ride to ride. People are pretty spaced out, and they have periodic they have cooling zones periodically where you can sit and take your mask off. Anytime you're going to a restaurant, you can take your mask off. So stop and have a snack, take your mask off, take a breath, and you should be okay. Yeah, Ethan's going into it too. There are areas you can take your mask off. Yeah, I think my kids are cute. I guess everybody thinks their own kids are cute, so yeah. I'm biased, I guess. Hi, Project Andrew. See you there. In Pennsylvania. I plan to hit some of the parks in Pennsylvania next year. They are doing Coaster Con in northeastern Pennsylvania next year. They're getting Hershey Park and Nobles and all those. So I do hope to get up there for that and spend about a week hitting all those parks. So I'm going to be up in your area next year, I think. Sorry, my dog is whining. I'll get her in a minute. She's fine. Go to bed. Go on. Let's see. Where was I at? I lost my place. Yeah. I'm looking forward to going to Hershey Park too. I wanted to go up and try out Candemonium this year when it opened up, but things happened. Yeah, I heard that too, Ethan. The Orion thing, they're doing like virtual line queuing now, where you can go get a ticket to come back later, so you don't have to stand in the hot line for hours at a time. But I've heard with the crowds being down now that it's not really an issue. That the waits are pretty minimal at this point. So the crowds have calmed down a bit since opening week because of, I think, because of the heat mostly, and people don't want to deal with the mask thing. It's uncomfortable, and some people are still a little scared of the whole situation. So it's understandable, and it is what it is. Yeah, I don't know anything about that, about the Cedar Point needing passes. Sorry, I'm not privy to that information. I haven't been to Cedar Point. I had planned to go this year, and to the opening of their river adventure ride. That's supposed to open to celebrate their 150th anniversary, but they've delayed that until next year. So my visit to Cedar Point's been delayed until next year. Yeah, the Windseeker was, Dave. It was a much more exciting ride than I expected it to be. From the ground, when you're looking up at it, it looks like it's so peaceful and relaxing, and they're going so slow and smoothly. Then you get up in that thing, and it's really moving when you're up there. It's really swings you around quite quickly, and it's an amazing view of the park, and a great way to cool off. I was glad I was able to fit on that. It was like the first time it had been open in like 5 visits I've been. It's mostly more down than it is open. The Windseeker is, and ironically, it's usually closed due to high winds. So it seeks them, and when it finds them, it's like it doesn't like them. So no problem, Jen. Appreciate. I know I rambled for a bit on it there. I hope you got some information out of my rambling about the COVID situation at the park. Yeah, if you're, I tell you right now that the mask situation as far as the distancing at the parks, if you've been to a grocery store at all, that's much worse than going to the theme parks. The theme parks are cake compared to just going to a Walmart or something in town. So if you can handle that, theme parks are no issue. It's just the heat that's the problem. Just see that dog. uh, maybe I might bring her over on another video next time I do a live stream. I'll grab her or something. I'm surprised I haven't been visited by a cat. I got 4 cats, and I'm surprised one of them hasn't jumped up here and tried to destroy everything. My wife went to bed, so they probably went with her. Oh yeah, the reservation thing you're talking about. You do have to have a reservation to get into the parks, but I don't think you need them to ride the rides. I think you can, when you go get them, you can go just get a ticket to come back at a certain time. But yeah, I don't. I think Cedar Point maybe it's a little rough right now for them because they've opened more recently than Kings Island, so it's still a little newer, a little fresher. Thinking maybe a week or so once the crowds calm down, then maybe it'll be more like Kings Island and not be so. Lost my train of thought. So rough on so crowded. I don't know. Did you fit in Firehawk and Flight of Fear? I did. I was able to ride both of those when they had them. The last I only got to ride Firehawk one time, and that was back in 2007. Back then, I was quite a bit smaller than I was now. I think I was about 295, 300, so still kind of a big dude. But I was able to ride Firehawk then. It was actually pretty comfortable. I think it's a Vekoma. Most Vekoma rides are a little easier to get into than like a B&M or an Intamin or something if you're familiar with manufacturer styles and names and stuff like that. Flight of Fear, I actually rode it the year it opened, the day it opened back in like 1995 when it was Outer Limits Flight of Fear with my uncle and my brother, and we rode that the first day it was open. So I have ridden that before back when it had the overhead restraints instead of the lap bar. So I have ridden that a few times. I don't fit on it right now, but I'm close. It's been a while since I've ridden it though. Yeah, the riders, the workers, that they're having a rough time at Kings Island when I was there opening day too. Is every time there'd be an issue and there'd be like 6 people halted around one register trying to figure out why the registers went down, which happened multiple times throughout the day. I had issues with earning a locker, and I couldn't get the card to read. I was asking if there was a trick to this. He's like, I don't know, man. It's my first day. So a lot of these are just high school kids or college kids looking for a summer job. So don't give them a hard time. They're doing their best, but a lot of them are new to it. So that kind of stuff happens. I appreciate it, Aiden. It's nice to talk with you guys too. I've seen you comment on a few of my videos. I know that you're one of the frequent commenters I get, and I really appreciate that. And I thank you for watching the videos. I'm very thankful that anyone at all is interested in what I'm doing here. Huh. Is that a normal thing for Cedar Point to get those passes, or is that something they've just done this year? Maybe they're just trying to limit, the lines and stuff. You give you a pass to come back at a certain time, so you can go sit in a cooler location instead of having to stand in the hot sun. I don't know. Is that they do that at kind of like a fast pass at Disney World, where you got a certain time you come and show up and you go on the ride then, or I think at like Volcano Bay at Universal Studios, if anyone's familiar with that, where you can they call it like the tapu system, where you get a ride time and you come back at that time within like 10 minutes of that ride time and then you ride. So I think that maybe what they're doing, just trying to limit the amount of people in a line and not having to have people wearing masks and standing around in the hot sun breathing on themselves all day. Yep, there, like I said, speak of the devil, there's a cat. Hey sweetheart, what you doing? Good girl. Tyler, tell your uncle he did a great job building Flight of Fear. I love that ride. It was a lot of fun. Very intense. I was really surprised at how quickly it just shoots you off, like 0 to 60 in like 0.5 seconds. It was a quick one. Yeah, there's a cat. Yeah, there's a cat. This one's a sweetie. I have been, if you look at my YouTube About page, I've been doing YouTube for, it says 2006, but that's when I signed up to start watching YouTube videos, and I've posted one video before last year. I started vlogging. Started doing this, I think April 1st of last year was when I posted my first one, and it started off being, I was having weight issues. I was at one point over 415 pounds. I really don't know exactly what my weight was because my scale didn't go up that far. But I was worried about being able to take my family on vacation to Disney World and Universal Studios that summer and fitting on the rides. So, I started a diet thing, and I got down to like 321 before we went. So I was able to fit on most everything we went. So that was pretty much what I started off doing, is documenting that. And about halfway through that, in May of that year, I decided to go to Kings Island, test my progress on the rides just to see, how close I'm getting to be able to ride these things. And I did that, and I started posting those videos, and people responded to it. So that's what I've been doing. Also like to go around do like little side of the road things and off the beaten path attractions and local events and conventions. I occasionally will get a wild hair up my butt and think of some weird stupid idea, and I'll make a video for that and post it on here. So it's become a little more about the coasters and theme parks, but I like to put a little bit of everything, just whatever tickles my fancy at the time. Just this year about the Cedar Point thing, okay. Yeah, that dropped the reservations at Kings Island too. I'm glad they did that, because they just did they drop the reservations? Yes, they did. I remember seeing that. It's because there hasn't been as much of a crowd as they anticipated, I guess. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate that. Thank you for watching. I appreciate anyone that comes on here and watches what I'm doing. I'm hoping I can help some people that maybe have gone through the same thing that I've gone through, or maybe have the same situation that I have, or being a little big and worried about being able to fit on these rides but still love the amusement parks. I mean, I've always been an amusement park lover and just like to get off just weird, kitschy things off the beaten path, goofy, cheesy. The cornier the better. And yeah, that and amusement parks, and I love it so much, even though they don't always love me as much as I love them because of my size. But I'm working on it. I'll get there. Hey, Poppy, they're a fan of yours. You see her tail still whipping around behind my head here. She's still there. She is. Uncle that lives in Kentucky. I have an uncle that lives in Cincinnati. So, hey, Hydraulic Games, how's it going? Yeah, walking around the parks, I was really surprised at how much you walk around those parks. I got a pedometer when I started doing that last year, walking around the parks and vlogging and checking out the rides and attractions and stuff. And it's really easy to get up to 5, 6, 7, 8 miles in a day just walking around those parks from one attraction to another. When I was down for the week at Universal and Disney World this past October, I think for the week I walked almost 50 miles in all those parks we went to. And yeah, so it's a lot of walking. It's good exercise. You don't really notice it as much as if you're just on a treadmill, just walking monotonously into nowhere. It's fun when you're walking to something fun. So I wish there was a theme park in my backyard, so I could have the theme park exercise experience. Or maybe if Kings Island was a little bit closer, other than just an hour and a half away from me, so I could maybe just, hey, it's across town. I'll hop in, go for a walk around the park, and get my exercise in. But sadly, that's not the case. No, I do not live in Ohio. I live in Kentucky. I am close to Ohio. I live just north of Lexington, if you're familiar with Kentucky geography. So I'm about an hour from the Ohio border, from the Cincinnati area. Going to Jersey. Uh, Everywhere's hot right now. It's very humid. I'd wanted to go up to Jersey this year and visit the Six Flags up there and ride the Jersey Devil coaster when it opened, but that got delayed until next year, so my visit's going to have to wait until next year. And also want to go up there and visit an old friend. That the Green Lantern coaster they have at the Six Flags up there used to be Chang at Kentucky Kingdom, and I rode that so many times as a kid. That's still right now probably my favorite coaster of all time, just probably because of the nostalgia factor, because I rode it so much with so many of my friends. There are probably better coasters out there that I've ridden if I had to really sit and think about it, but that is one of my all-time favorites. I have not been to the Great Wolf Lodge. I've seen it many times. I have wanted to go many times, but it's really expensive. It's like $400 a night, and that just seems a little outrageous to me. I know that one day the kids and I will go up there with the wife and spend a long weekend doing the water park thing, but I haven't had a chance to yet. Yeah, same thing. Weather in Kentucky, they said that about Kentucky weather too. I think it's just Midwest area, just that belt that all the fronts move through on their way to north and south as they come from the Great Plains. Look at me talking about like I know what weather is. Yeah, I know it hasn't been 100 degrees, but it's been way over that with the humidity, and it's just like I said, if it wasn't so hot and humid, sorry, I think I burped a little. Excuse me. The masks wouldn't be that big of an issue, but yeah, just breathing into the masks like that is well, the humidity. That's the problem. It's not the just wearing it itself, because it's not so bad. If it wasn't so hot, it wouldn't be so bad. I mean, I would say 6 million ninjas can't be wrong. I don't know how many ninjas there are. If they're good ninjas, you don't know about them. You don't know how many there are, but ninjas wear them. So can't be that bad, right? You live in Mason. You're lucky. You live right by Kings Island. I appreciate it, Julie. I thank you for watching the videos. I enjoy making them. I have a lot of fun. I make the most out of my visits. I will go and I have ideas for videos that I want to make, and I could probably usually get about 10 to 15 videos worth of footage when I go to a park. So because I have a plan of what I want to get and how I can break it up and give different experiences for different people looking for different things. So anything you see Kings Island coming out in the next couple weeks or so that I'm going to post, it's all from that when I went to that opening day video. I got it all then because I had a plan going in what I wanted to get, and I was able to get majority of what I went in for. So yeah, I try. I get people say stuff about my accent. I try my hardest, and I've tried my entire life not to sound like a hillbilly, because that's a stereotype you get being from Kentucky. But I know I've lived here nearly my entire life, so a little bit is snuck in, and I can't hide it. I'm not ashamed of being from Kentucky. I like it here. It's a nice place to live. I wish it was near the ocean a little bit. I wish we had a little more. You know what? Yeah, we got there's stuff close enough to me where there's plenty to do, but I just wish we were closer to the ocean. I love the ocean. I love beach attitude, beach weather. That's the only reservation I have. But I'm proud to be from Kentucky. I love it here. Thank you on some of the rides, but good thing they let you take it off. Yeah. No, every time I saw somebody taking a mask off on a ride at Kings Island, they told them they were supposed to put it back on. So I don't know if they're. I mean, some of the ride operators may not be as forceful about it. May not want to have any kind of conflict with someone about or an argument about putting the mask on, so they might not say anything. But I think you're supposed to wear them while you're riding the rides. But you do what you want to do. You're on a ride blowing around. I don't think really, unless you're sitting right next to someone, it's going to make a difference. But I understand the rules and why they're in place. They're just trying to keep everybody safe. I've heard of Geauga Lake. I never got to go, but I've heard of Geauga Lake. Not familiar with the rides there because it was closed down before I had a chance to visit. So I wish it was still open. From what I hear, it was an amazing place to go. I've been to SeaWorld in Orlando. I know there's one in Texas. There's one in California too. Was there another one in Ohio? Is that what you're talking about? I feel like I've heard of Whitewater Kingdom too, but I'm not sure. That may just be some general words for theme parks that I'm getting into there and matrixing them together to form a memory. I don't know. My favorite food place at Kings Island. I haven't tried them all, but my favorite thing, you can't go to Kings Island without trying the blue ice cream. I remember when I was little, they used to have Smurf ice cream, which is the same thing as blue and white, but it's the same flavor. It's a Blue Moon ice cream. Now it's the soft serve over there in the Planet Snoopy. I love that stuff. My favorite savory food is at the Coney Island Brew House. No, that's not. Rivertown Brew House. Sorry, what am I thinking? And they have this thing called a big old pretzel, and it is this big. It's as big as your head, and it comes with bacon jam and these sweet hot peppers and beer cheese dip, and it is fantastic. The bacon jam in general, I mean, I could eat that stuff. I'm still on from Guy Fieri and say I could eat it off a flip-flop, but it is good stuff. I get one of those. If I want a meal at Kings Island, I don't get a meal. I go and get one of those big pretzels. Don't knock your accent. I'm not knocking the accent. I just don't want to sound like a hillbilly or a redneck. You can call me a redneck if you want. That just means you're from the South and you enjoy. I'm not trying to look at my bald spot. And you enjoy Southern things, I guess. But I'm not ashamed of my accent. I know I have one. I know it's from Kentucky. I just don't want to get it so thick and so deep that people assume that I'm stupid or assume things about me or assume I'm a hillbilly that can't talk because of it. And I'm not making fun of anybody that has an accent like that because a lot of my family have accents like that. But I've tried really hard not to let it interfere with me conversing with others. That's the whole reason I used to work at a call center for U.S. Airlines cargo shipping, and so we had to deal with people from all over the country, and we had to learn how to speak in a more clear tone, so they could understand us when they called. So they didn't want people that had this really thick accent you can't understand. Well, thank you, Jen. I appreciate you think my accent's cute. Chicks dig flips. So. Oh, yeah. I wish I could do a flip. If I, I would break something. I was reading that as like chicks dig flip flops. I'm like, and it never got me any chicks wearing flip flops. I read it wrong. Sorry. I do wear a lot of Crocs though. I love Crocs, especially the theme parks. They're very comfortable. I want to get a Croc sponsorship. I have like 4 pair of them. There was a SeaWorld in Ohio right across the lake from Geauga Lake. I didn't know that. You've taught me something. Okay. I'll have to look into that later. I'm very. I like the history of theme parks and stuff, so I'd be interested in seeing what that was all about. Never tried the blue ice cream, Tyler. Oh my gosh. You don't know what you're missing. You've got to try the blue ice cream. I'm gonna say that and you're gonna hate it, but they have pins and T-shirts that just say "I love blue ice cream" because it has kind of a cult following there, and I am a member of that cult. I love the blue ice cream. It's Blue Moon flavored, if I'm not mistaken, which is a um, Midwestern origin in that flavor, like Michigan area. And if you've ever had Superman ice cream, which is probably my favorite ice cream, the blue part of Superman is Blue Moon ice cream, and Superman usually has like a lightly cherry and a lightly yellow flavor, or not yellow flavored, a lemon flavored ice cream to go along with that Blue Moon, and it's amazing. If you haven't had Superman ice cream, get that too. You got my Superman ice cream lovers out there, or is it just me? My whole family likes Superman. I used. They went to Geauga Lake. Yeah, I wish I could have gone too. Another Croc fan. Yeah, I love the Crocs. And they don't just come in the clogs anymore. If you haven't looked at Crocs in a while, they have all kinds, all shapes. I bought a pair just a week ago to wear to church. Okay, it's like it's like a boat slip on. It has like a canvas and it's like a khaki flavored. It tastes like khakis. Yeah, it's khaki colored, so it goes well with khaki pants and cargo shorts, khaki cargo, which I like to wear because I'm a shorts and t-shirt kind of guy. But yeah, they have all kinds, all styles, slips, flip flops. And here, look at me being a spokesperson for Crocs now over here, hyping them up. I will Google it. I will check out the Sea World probably tomorrow when I'm poking on the internet. I'll check that out. I keep touching the desk and jiggling my camera. I'm sorry about that if that's bothering anybody. I can't keep myself from doing it. Okay. I'm going to hold you to it, Tyler. Give that ice cream a try. That's good stuff. They have it by Banshee? I thought it was just over in Planet Snoopy. If so, it should be the same stuff. I don't think they'd have blue ice cream at one place and then something different at another. So I guess, Tyler, if you're looking, Dave says they have it over by Banshee too. I know there's an ice cream zone where they sell ice cream, but I didn't know it was blue ice cream. I never stopped there and got one. Yep, like the waffle cone, Superman with the waffle cone. That's what I go for too. Yeah, Skyline Chili. That's a Cincinnati, a local product. That's why they have it at Kings Island. That chili on spaghetti with a little bit of it's like a cinnamon flavor in the chili. It's either a kind of a love it or hate it kind of thing, and I didn't used to like it, but now I do. Where's the blue ice cream located? Um, Dave Coaster Dude up there just pointed out that there's an ice cream zone. I know there's an ice cream place there. I didn't know it had the blue ice cream, but apparently you can get it there right by the entrance to Banshee. Also, if you go into Planet Snoopy, not the first entrance, but the second entrance, just like halfway up International Avenue on the International Street on your right, you'll be able to go in, and I think it's right across from the Great Pumpkin Coaster. There's just a blue ice cream hut where you can get it with like sprinkles and Oreos and with cones, and I think maybe swirled with some vanilla too. So there's a couple different places you can get it. I don't think I have any open-toed sandals. My Crocs, I have a pair of clogs. I have a pair of slides. I have a water sandal. I'll take that back. That Crocs makes, and I have my church Crocs that I just got. Okay, I have multiple sources here that say, thank you, Music Addict, that Place by Banshee does have the blue ice cream too. So, a couple places you can get it. If they sold it in tubs, I'd buy it and take it home with me. I would. Stuff's gonna keep me fat. I'd bathe in that stuff. If you went for Winterfest, I don't know if they'll have it again this year, but they had a hot chocolate that was the blue ice cream flavored hot chocolate, which I pretty much think they just took the mix that they make the soft serve out of, and they just made it hot and melted it. They didn't freeze it and stuck it in a cup with some waffle cone pieces, and it was perhaps the best thing I've ever put in my mouth in my entire life. So if they have that again at Winterfest and you're down for Winterfest, try to hunt that out. It was, I think, at the Grader's Ice Cream Shop on International Streets where they had that. Dave's going to work. I appreciate you stopping by, Dave, and chatting with me and commenting. Have fun at work. I know that's hard to do, but have a good night. I guess I'll talk to you later. You leave a lot of comments, so I'll hear from you later, I guess. Thanks for joining in. All right. Well, I've been on here for over an hour chatting. Wow. Okay, just running my mouth, I guess. Well, since I got the audio fixed, I guess it's been fairly successful. I don't know. It's my first live stream, so I appreciate everyone that's joined in and participated, chatted, hung out with me, listened to me just ramble on about nonsense. And what in the world was that? Speaking of nonsense, probably some cat over there doing something nonsensical. Anyway, again, the point of this video was to just, again, thank everyone for helping me hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. I really appreciate it. And I, again, am humbled by the fact that there are 1,000 people out there that have any interest in what I have to do or say. So, thank you all for watching. Unless someone has any other thing they'd like to ask me, any other input, I'll hang on here for just a second. But if not, I'm gonna get off, and I'll have another one real soon, because I really enjoy getting on here and talking with you guys about this kind of stuff. So let me know in the comments what you like, what you don't, what you want to talk about, what you don't want to talk about, and I'll post I think a poll soon, with topics and asking. You can vote on what you want to talk about, what you don't want to talk about. So we'll get into that, and I'll have another one real soon, because I enjoy doing this. This is a lot of fun. So unless anyone has anything else they'd like to talk about, questions for me, anything you'd like to know, waiting patiently. No, sorry. Evil laugh. Can you have a birthday live stream? I don't know if I'll do that. My family will probably want to do something with me. I might, if I get bored, maybe I'll pop on here late that night and do something. I do have to work on my birthday, which is Wednesday. I'm not gonna tell you how old I am unless you really want me to. I don't really care though. Age is just a number. I don't feel as old as I am. I was telling my wife the other day that I don't know when you're supposed to really feel like an adult, but I haven't hit it yet, so I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, and if anyone wants to send me a message, you can do so on any video I've got. I will respond to you, unless you're, trolling or saying names or using vulgarity or profanity or something. I just ignore that kind of stuff. But even if it's something you don't like, if you're constructive with it and you're come at it with a good attitude, I'll respond. I'll respond to anything you put on there. So I look forward to hearing from anyone. And if anyone would like to send me a message, a letter that, something you don't want on the internet, but might be a little long for the internet, you can mail me. I now have a post office box. If you go to my page and click the About section, there will be a place where you can send a letter, and I would love to hear from you. Love to chat with you. If you send me a letter, I'll send you something back. And, again, my birthday is next week, so if you want to send me a card full of cash, that'd be great too. I'm joking about that. I made this joke earlier, but if you send me a card full of cash, I'm going to be really upset because I'm going to feel bad. This is just a joke. Don't send me anything like that. But again, I appreciate everyone watching. Good night, everybody. Yeah, Tyler, my birthday's on Wednesday. On the 29th is my birthday. But, so I will be older then. Anyway, appreciate you guys watching.